You worked this entire month. You watched the money come in, and somewhere between paying bills and just getting through the week, most of it disappeared again. That is not bad luck. That is not your fault. That is what happens when nobody ever teaches you the actual rules of how money works. And here is what bothers me most about that. The rules are not complicated. They are not hidden behind a finance degree or a six-figure salary. They are simple. They are learnable. And the moment they click for you, the way you see every financial decision you make will permanently change. That is exactly what this video is. 5 steps. Real ones. The kind that work whether you are earning a little or a lot, whether you're starting at 0 or starting over. By the time we get to step 5, you're going to understand something about building wealth that most people spend their entire lives missing. Stay with me. This one is worth your full attention. Step 1. See your money clearly before you try to do anything with it. Here's something most people never do. They know roughly what comes in each month, but they have almost no real picture of what goes out. Think about the last time you checked your bank statement, not to pay a bill, but just to actually look at it. For most people, that answer is either never or not recently. And the result of that is a pattern that repeats every single month. Money arrives, life happens, the balance gets low, and you're left with a vague sense that something is off, but no clear idea of what. That vague feeling is expensive. When you cannot see where your money goes, you cannot make real decisions about it. You're just reacting, and reacting to money is almost always more costly than planning with it. So the first step is simply this. Look. Not to judge yourself, not to feel bad, just to see. Pick one recent month and trace every single dollar that left your account. Do not skip anything. The coffee, the forgotten subscription, the impulse buy at 11 at night. Most people find 1 or 2 things in that exercise that genuinely surprise them, not because they're careless, just because they never looked. Clarity is not glamorous, but it is the starting point for everything else. Step 2, build a financial floor before you think about anything else. There's a gap between where most people are and where they want to be financially, and the thing that keeps widening that gap, quietly and visibly, is not a lack of ambition, it's the absence of a cushion. Here's what that means in practice. Something unexpected happens. It always does. A medical expense, a car that stops working, a period without income. If there's nothing set aside, that moment forces you backward. You borrow, you drain whatever small progress you made, and then you start over. This cycle is one of the most common reasons people feel stuck, not because they're not trying, but because every time they take a few steps forward, one unexpected event pulls them back to the beginning. A financial cushion breaks that cycle. It doesn't need to be large to matter. Even a few $100s sitting in a separate account, when you treat as untouchable unless something real happens, changes how you move through the world. It changes the decisions you make. It changes how much stress you carry. Start smaller than you think you need to. Build it slowly. The number matters less than the habit. Once you have even a small layer of protection, you stop making financial decisions from panic, and calm decisions are almost always better ones. Step 3. Understand what debt is actually doing to you. Not all debt is the same. Some debt, used carefully and intentionally, can be a tool, but the kind most people carry, the high-interest kind, the kind that grows quietly in the background while you focus on other things, is not a tool, it's a weight. Here is the honest way to think about it. Every month you carry a high-interest balance. A portion of everything you earn goes somewhere other than your life. It goes to interest, to fees, to a balance that barely moves no matter how much you pay. That is not a small thing. That is money leaving your future every single month. Dealing with that debt is not just a financial move. It's one of the highest return decisions you can make because every dollar you stop paying in interest is a dollar that stays with you permanently. The method you use to pay it down matters less than the decision to actually attack it. Some people find it motivating to eliminate the smallest balance first and feel that momentum. Others prefer to go after the highest interest rate first to save more over time. Both approaches work. The one you'll actually follow through on is the right one for you. Remove the weight, then everything else you build starts adding up faster. Step 4. Put your money somewhere it can grow over time. This is the part of the conversation that sounds intimidating, but the core of it is genuinely simple. When you keep money only in a checking account, it sits still, and money that sits still while prices slowly rise over the years is quietly losing value. Not dramatically, not at all at once, but consistently. Investing is just the act of putting your money somewhere it has the potential to grow. And the most powerful thing about it isn't the return percentage or the specific vehicle you choose. It's time. Small amounts of money added consistently over years grow in a way that surprises almost everyone the first time they see the math. Not because of magic, because of a simple rule. When your money earns a return, and then that return also earns a return on top of itself, the growth accelerates over time. The longer that process runs, the more significant the result. The most important decision isn't which account to open or which fund to pick. It's to begin. Now when conditions feel perfect, not when you feel ready. Now, with whatever small amount is available to you. Time is the one ingredient in this that you genuinely cannot buy back once it's gone. Every year you wait is years of growth that never happen. Step 5. Grow the engine, not just the output. Here's the part most finance content skips entirely. Every step we covered so far matters, but all of them have a ceiling if one thing stays the same. And that one thing is how much you earn and how you think about earning it. The people who build real financial security over a lifetime are not just disciplined savers. They're people who actively, intentionally grew their ability to earn. A new skill, a better opportunity, a way of solving problems that makes them more valuable in any room they walk into. That growth compounds just like money does. A skill you develop today opens a door next year that didn't exist before. That door leads somewhere new, and that somewhere new is worth more than any single savings tip anyone has ever given you. Alongside that, the way you think about money matters enormously. There's a pattern where people earn more and somehow end up feeling exactly the same amount of financial pressure as before because their spending grew with their income automatically, without any real decision being made. The people who escape that pattern do one thing differently. They make conscious choices about how their life expands. Not rigid choices, not punishing ones, just intentional ones. That awareness alone changes everything. So here's what we covered today. See your money clearly so you can make real decisions. Build a cushion so one bad month can't erase everything. Address high-interest debt because it's silently costing you your future. Start letting your money grow over time because the sooner that process begins, the more powerful it becomes. And invest in growing what you earn because a bigger engine reaches further than any amount of optimization on its own. None of this requires a perfect starting point. None of it requires a large income or a finance background. It requires understanding, and it requires starting. You now have both. There's a video waiting for you right now that I think will take exactly what you just learned one level deeper. Go ahead and watch it next.